So we are told in this circuit that all of these resistances, each of them is 30 ohms. So the values are equal and they're 30 ohms. Each one is 30 ohms. So we need to find the equivalent resistance as seen from here, as it's shown. So if we notice the circuit, we can see that there is a delta connection here which we need to convert into Y. Let's do that first. There may be one or two more deltas here, but let's look at that later. Let's convert this delta, the encircled one, into Y. So if we do that, we get this one, this and this. These three will be the nodes. So after that we will have from here, so we will still have this one, this resistance and this resistance, and for this part this one and this one, these three will stay, so it will be like that. Now what are the values of the void, equivalent voids? So that will be, all of them were 30 ohms here, so the equivalent void will be 30 times 30 divided by 30 plus 30 plus 30, so that is 90. So if we do that, it becomes 3 here, so that 10 ohms. So all of them will be 10 because it's the same. So 10 ohms here, 10 ohms and 10 ohms, that's there. Now if we notice this part, maybe I will draw with a use a different color. This part, it's actually not a delta. What happens here is with these three resistances, this one and this one, these two are just in series and then coming in parallel with this third one. So I will erase these ones. So I will redraw this one maybe. So what I will do, I will erase that part and I will replace that with just one resistance, equivalent one. That will be, since they were both 30, the equivalent one will be now 60 ohms. And this one still is 30. Now for this part, if we look at this part, this is still a delta because of the connection. If we just notice this like that, so here again we need to convert this part into Y again as well. So what I will do that maybe in this diagram, so that it becomes more easier to understand. It becomes, so this is here, becomes clearer that way. That one and that one, these three will be the equivalent Y connections. That way it becomes more obvious. So like that, and they, all of them were 30 ohms. So when converted into Y like before, they will be 10 ohms. Each of them will be 10 ohms. So like that. So now we have this kind of connection. These 30 ohms and 60 ohms, these two are in parallel. So what I will do, instead of redrawing the whole thing, I will again erase and then I will replace this one with one resistance. So the parallel equivalent of 30 and 60 will be 30 times 60 divided by 30 plus 60, that is 20. So that will be 20 ohms. So here I will erase this part, these two resistances, and replace that. Maybe I will erase that circle as well, and that will be equivalent, here will be 20 ohms. So now if we look at this one, this is becoming rather simple now. We have this 10 ohms, this 20 ohms and this 10 ohms, these three resistances in series, and then because this is one node and this is another node here, so these three resistances are coming in series, and they are, after the series equivalent will be in parallel with these, the series equivalent of these two resistances. So here we have two 10 ohms resistances. The equivalent will be, series equivalent will be 20, 10 plus 10, and here we have 10, 20 and 10, so the series equivalent will be 40. So 20 and 40, these two will be the parallel combination. So I will maybe I don't know, maybe I will just erase and redraw a little bit here. So with just one resistance first, so that will be this one going there, and it's becoming 20. While here the three resistances, instead of three we will have just one resistance, and that one's value will be 40, because 10 plus 20 plus 10, 40. So 20 ohms and 40 ohms, these two are coming in parallel. So the parallel equivalent will be 20 times 40 divided by 20 plus 40, that will be 60. So we will have 40 divided by 3, so that will be 13.33, so on, 33 ohms basically. So that one, now I will erase again these two. So now it's becoming very simple. We have a 13 ohms resistance, 13.33 ohms resistance here, and then 10 ohms, and then 10 ohms. These three are in series. Pretty simple. So 10 ohms plus 10 ohms plus 13.33 ohms. So the R equivalent will be, R equivalent, maybe I will write on the next page here. So 10 plus 13.33 in that order, and then 10, so that will be 33.33 33 ohms. So that will be the equivalent value as seen from here, basically this one.